I know that the 18 holes and the 9 holes also use those computers, and they have to have certain programs on them.
That's correct.
I hope that you're going to consider that again, please.
No, all of it will be on there for the
Okay.
scoring and everything, yes.
Okay.
And to get into Chelsea
Right.
and all the other. Yeah,
Okay.
all your connections will be there.
Okay.
What's the sense of the board?
We just voted.
Call the question?
Yeah, I would
Call the
say-
question.
Yeah, I'd say call the question.
Call the question, okay. All in favor, raise, signify by raising the right hand. All opposed? 5-2. Okay, 5-2. Motion carries 5-2. Okay. Little lively action there. Number 10, approve replacement of pump station number 5 drive/VDD from reserve fund not to exceed $7,000.
This was an emergency replacement. The VFD is the computer panel that controls the three variable speed pumps that supply water to the golf course and our common ground. Approximately 3 weeks ago, on a weekend, I don't know if you remember that Friday night we had that very bad lightning storm. Well, we believe, and we have it out for testing to confirm it, but it appears that the board was struck by lightning and it came through the ground in through the system and fried the computer that operates the three variable speed pumps. It wasn't an option not to do it right away. Without that board, we can't pump water. So I went to the board, asked the 4 board officers for emergency approval. It is a reserve item. I called the reserve chairman and apprised him of the situation, and he said, go ahead. So we went ahead and bought it, installed it. Luckily, 2 days later, we found one up in Maine and had it overnighted. Went to reserve. Reserve has approved this, and now I'm asking for board approval to ratify what the officers have already approved.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Second.
Board discussion, questions? Resident comment?
Yeah, Larry.
Can we get lightning protection hooked to that somehow?
What we've done is we've asked the county has to do it. We've asked them to provide that on the pumping system. So we are working on that. This had a surge protector on the panel. So we feel it did not come in through the panel. We're going to verify that because they sent it off for testing, but it came in through the ground. That is very difficult to protect us from a lightning strike. I think as Ben Bell will tell you about when his well got hit.
Any further resident comment? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Number 11, approve purchase of sod for common area in Pinecrest Village from the capital fund not to exceed $5,500. Bill?
We have an area in Pinecrest.
It's Pine Ridge.
I mean, I saw Pine Ridge. I've even got rid of Pine Ridge. Pine Ridge at the rear of the loop there that is HPCA common ground. Why they didn't deed that to the village, I can't even imagine. But it's our common ground. They have been on potable water in their village since they installed. Lennar would not give them a well. Based on that, they had significant issues with their irrigation. And if any of you either live in that village or have been in that village, they have the worst lawns in the entire community. Lennar has agreed in principle, I don't believe they funded yet, they've agreed in principle to replace their lawns. So as a part of that, I told Mr. Hofstetter, who's the president of that village, when he was going to do his replacement, we would in kind do the same replacement of all the common ground, which is in the same terrible condition. But he agreed to let us not replace until they negotiated a contract. This is a single bid replacement based on one issue. Luke Brothers is their maintenance company. They have agreed to a 2-year guarantee of the sod. None of the other sod companies would agree to do that when they bid it. So it's unique in that way. The other way it's unique is I'm signing a informal agreement with that village that they're doing a $5,000 upgrade to the landscaping on our property to enhance that village's the look of that village. So they are also taking over maintenance of that away from us and saving Valleycrest from mowing any of it. And they're doing it at no cost to us. It's a win-win. The second part of this is 2 months ago, the board approved us to irrigate the back gate, which was on their potable. If you all, a lot of you came recommend, remember that. When we did that, we took reclaim through the back, all of our common ground back there, and put all of it on reclaim and off their potable. So that's the other thing. We'll water it now at night with reclaim, and it will be off their potable, saving them approximately a couple $100 a month in their potable bill. So it's a win-win for the association and a win-win for Pine Ridge Village. So it's $5,500. Again, the reason it's only one bid is no other sod contractor is willing to give us a 2-year guarantee on the sod. And for practical reasons, as most of you know, we don't want to get sod if we're going to do a whole village from 2 different sod farms, because you're going to get 2 different kinds of sod.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. Second. Any board comment, discussion, question?
I have a question. Who did the inferior installation?
Lennar. Yeah, it was original installation of their village irrigation that included most of Kevin knows, but we've had, just like the fence line irrigation we're redoing now, the irrigation that was put in here was done by 5 different irrigation companies. We have a map in my office, we're actually over Kim's desk, so because she and I refer to it, that it's got it color coded so we can figure out who put the irrigation in here. It was very poorly done.
I have a question. So Lennar is going to replace the lawns in the village?
That's
Not
correct.
exactly.
Why won't they replace the lawn in the common area?
Because
Are they gonna actually replace the lawns, or are they gonna give them a check?
they're giving them money. They're not replacing, they're
Yeah,
giving them money.
that's happening.
Why
That's
aren't they
happening.
doing that to the Mass Association?
I think we've been down that road once before. We
Talking
signed,
about I'm talking about the Master Association.
It's our,
Fighting it.
we signed
yeah,
a
when we
release,
signed the release,
our common ground,
yeah,
not
no,
the village's.
Janice, when we signed the release with Lennar's lawsuit, we released them from any and all
So that
claims,
just said-
oh, I'm sorry, any and all claims in Heritage Pines, so there's no going back after them for $5,500.
Any further comments or questions by the board? Resident comment? Bonnie?
It just came to mind when you were talking about, wasn't there a discussion previously about planting things on common ground? I mean, did the board come up with any type of a policy
Supposed to
that,
go through ARC.
Well, what it is, management has a policy that we've instituted, and that is anytime we change anything, we're going to go to Florida friendly. But this is turf. The village has got an architectural plan that will go through the architectural review committee that they're drafting up, that they've got a budget of $5,000 for. That's beautiful. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing, and I'm sure architectural review will approve it. But all we're doing is replacing sod. We're not doing any of the plantings. That's the villages are going to. They're working on it. They're going to take it to ARC, get it approved, and do it. We're just replacing dead sod.
Believe me, it's.
It's dead.
well, I know that whole area has been,
Janice and I and Bill have been through, I mean, this is something
yeah.
that village badly needs, and I guess we're saying Pine Ridge?
Pine Ridge, yeah, it's a
It's
win-win
Pine Ridge
situation.
Village in the motion,
It
okay.
saves the HPCA Master Association money, and it saves their village money, and it gets rid of one of the worst turf problems in the entire community.
It could come back to the Master Association though down the road.
Yes, what we've said, and we're going to put in the agreement, that if they decide not to maintain it, then we're taking out all of their landscaping. No,
But I thought we were
essentially,
putting
putting
no,
in
listen,
sod.
anything that's high maintenance that they put in.
Okay, let's not get
Sod
into
is
debate
two
about
different
that.
things.
I know.
Well, then ask
Why would we take out
Okay,
their,
okay.
Quit asking.
All we're taking out
No.
is the plant.
I can't stop Bonnie from asking the question when I've already allowed a couple other people to do it, so. Right?
But I think
Thank you.
Bonnie's comment is still germane. Does a village have the authority to landscape common area?
Yes,
With approval.
with approval from the ARC.
And
And management.
management.
Right.
But I want to say that this area that they are landscaping
He's going.
is in a very difficult area to maintain. There's a concrete wall as well as some tree plantings. It's a narrow space. It's up against the fence. The weeds infest it constantly, and it's a nightmare. Whereas if they are willing to put the funds into making it functional and maintainable, it's in all of our best interest.
And they maintain. That's
And they
what's
maintain, absolutely, that they maintain it.
my only comment was regarding down the road. I believe it will look very nice,
That'll
but
be taken care of.
Okay. Any further resident comment?
Yeah.
Linda?
Make sure when they do that, against the fence is Florida holly, which is very poisonous, and I've seen people come and pick it off, and those seeds go all over, and they grow all over. The only way you can eradicate them is you cut them down, and right after you cut them down, you have to put